Well, ladies, friends, yogis, let's get started. Are we ready? I am so ready. I hope that you feel like $1,000,000 knowing that the only thing you have to worry about in your class, with me anyway, is having fun, letting loose, breathing, and just trying to feel good in every posture. So I like to invite and guide you into lots of movement. If that doesn't suit you, don't worry about it. Just do whatever feels good, stillness or movement, and experiment in lots of new ways today. I'll invite you, no worries. Spread your 10 toes. We're just gonna try to get some feeling into our feet, and then try to find all four corners of your feet. One of my favorite things to do at the beginning of class so we can build up a really strong foundation. When our feet are ready for action, our joints that stack on top are all ready as well. So building from the ground up is really smart in the beginning of your practice. Let's bring one knee in towards the other. Soften your knees, but you're gonna try to lift through the outer arch. And then do the same on the other. Knee kind of knocks in, outer arch lifts. Then go out with one foot and the other, inner arch lifting. Then try to go heels, a little balancing challenge. And then maybe one, then the other, ball of feet. So we're just gonna stretch on every side of our feet. Try that again. Inner, outer arches, heels, balls of feet. See if you're feeling brave enough to try both at the same time. And then let's focus on some breath as we do this. Breathing in and breathing out. No set rhythm, just consciously, presently, fully aware of our breathing. One more round. Beautiful. All right, my friends, let's sweep our arms up to the sky. Bring them down to heart center. Take a little tiny bow right here. Eyes towards your fingers. Soften your knees. And we're taking 2 long breaths in this morning with as much of a pause as you can afford in between the in and out. Let's try to clear first. Inhale through noses. Exhalation out through mouth. And then begin together, a slow inhalation. When you arrive at the tippy top, pause in stillness, find that beautiful moment of perfect calm, and then an exhalation through open mouth when you're ready. One more like that, in through noses. Pausing softly, unclenching facial muscles, and releasing whenever you feel necessary. Add it with some arms up and overhead. No pause this time, my friends. Exhale, release. Heels rise as the arms rise. Extended mountain pose as much as you can extend. Heels melt down. Let's try it again, but this time we'll float to the earth. Arms and heels rise. Heels land, fingertips fall. One more time like that. At the top, we lift our heels, giving a squeeze from the calves in towards the shins. A little wiggle and wobble. Exhale, release. Chair pose, fingertips rise. Now, if you want a wide chair like mine, great. If you want a narrow one, you just find whatever works for you, what feels good. You're gonna go behind your back like this, my friends. Clasp your thumbs and spread little butterfly wings, okay? Right behind your back. What are we doing this for? Watch my chest. Lift and open, right? Let's pull our chest up, heart to the sky, leading with the left side today. A really heart-centered focus. Breath focus. We're gonna feel so good. We'll be moving with the best foot forward every step of today. One more breath. Clasp your hands now instead, and then send your hands behind you. A little bit of a bigger heart stretch. Straightening legs, softly with our knees bent at all times, never locking joints, and then a forward fold when you're ready, rinsing out our shoulder tension here. Try to get upside down, yogis. We don't care how much we need to bend our knees. I love making a little shelf with my thighs in the beginning of class. I really want you to get your head all the way to the floor so you can shake it with no tension in your neck, letting go here. We can lift our knuckles as high as it feels good for our shoulders, or we can continue to just rest them right on our low backs. When your neck feels good from that no shake, give it a big old yes. Yes, we are ready for some action, some breath-filled movements. And then slowly stop your head shaking. Let your hands fall to your low back and slide them down your hips, your thighs, your knees, your shins, and right to the floor. Inhale, rise to the sky, yogis. One big breath, extended mountain pose. We're coming down to tabletop. So once you fall back to forward fold, step back to wherever it feels really good for you. And then let's take a bunch of movements here. We want to warm up our wrists and our shoulders. So tops of feet are flat in the beginning. We're gonna spread our webbing really wide on fingers and try to literally touch each fingertip with your weight. So you're gonna move around a little bit here and there. Pull back to the heels of your hands, stretch the front of your ankles and the tops of your feet. Move each little direction, even the little tiny parts like southeast, let's go there. Belly pulls in. And then when you feel good in your wrist, add a little cat-cow movement to this, but let's make it a bit functified. So we're gonna move around in all those directions like northwest, making it a little gooey and kind of mousy like honey through your spine. I love bending elbows and opening chests. Take your hips around the corner, press out. There's no wrong way to move. We're just liquefying our spine. At some point, try to tuck your toes under, get the bottoms of your feet stretched out. And if you're able to, yogis, begin to turn your fingers out to the sides. Then stop your cat-cows and start to shift your weight just to the right and just to the left. See if you can shift so much that the heel of your hand lifts. Oh, that's such a good stretch. Go slow, especially if you have tender wrists. Going a bit further, if you're able, fingertips swivel towards our knees. They go as far as the knees, but they can stop anywhere else. One hand is good if you'd rather do one at a time. And now we're gonna shift north to south. So we're gonna go forward to come out of intensity and shift back. Again, trying to lift the heels of the hands. Woo! That's where it's intense, right? So go really slow, a little goes a long way. And it's okay if you don't love this and your fingertips are still forward. Something else you could do if your fingertips are forward or make a little tense and try to really suction cup your fingers towards one another, getting your wrists really strong. We'll meet you there in a moment. Let's take one more big breath, yogis. All right, swivel back to the front. Let's meet our friends that have their suction cup fingers. And if this is enough for you, keep it. If you think you might be able to do turbo tabletop. See my knees, they're lifted about 1 inch off the mat. Try that. Really tough, I know. Drop your knees when you're ready and make fists. Everyone make fists, just kind of clearing our wrists, getting them really strong and stable. Now you can leave them here like this for the next exercise. We're gonna lift our right knee up towards our armpit. If you're ready, flatten your palms out again. And if you'd like to roll up a little something for under the heel of your hands, that can make this less intense as well. Optionally, wrists get too tired, come to forearms for this exercise. We're gonna lift up into armpit, right knee, down towards the wrist. Right knee up into armpit, down towards the wrist. We're going on repeat, yogis. So why would you wanna do this? Well, it's really good for the wrists and shoulders, but excellent for the core. Feel your right oblique, the side of your right body. If not, you'll feel it soon. We're just gonna squeeze, release, squeeze, release. About 4 more, okay? Hang in there, open your right toes. At the tippy top, hold for 5 seconds, squeeze in, belly in tight, breath long and slow. Release, woo-wee. Sit back on your shins, bring your hands up and literally just flap them around like a baby bird. You can go up and down, side to side. You can circle your wrists if that feels better, but give them some relief. All right, one more little wrist warm up before we finish that other side. Arms rise, and we're gonna really try to stay lifted from back ribs, not back bending, long in the torso here. Start to close and open, see this? Like big lights, like headlights turning on and off. Open and close. If it's too intense overhead, you can bring it down. I'd rather you extend your arms, so maybe you extend them at your chest. And while you're doing this, pretty soon it feels like you lose motor control. It's such a weird feeling. But I want you to try to keep your face really soft. You can smile, you can giggle at your weird things that are going on right now, but try not to clench and make a really scary, spooky season face. 4 more seconds, hang in there, yogis. I just lost motor control, did you? One more big breath in. Well, they're awake. Feel that energy buzzing around? So good. Come on to the other side, tabletop. Fists are your go-to if you're really tuckered out in your wrists. When you're ready, left knee moves up towards the armpit. Let's give it a squeeze. Release to the wrist. You could always put it down in between for a little break. Squeeze up to the wrist, up to the wrist. Okay, now you know what to do. Focus all your energy in your left side, your obliques, warming up the core. Notice if you're clawing your left toes. Can you open them? Just give them a little sense of liberation. Who's breathing? Squeeze tight, yogis. 8, 7, squeeze, squeeze. 4 more. You can come to forearms if you're really tuckered out. To the tippy top and hold. 5. Open your left toes. 2 and 1. Child's pose. Awesome job, guys. Reach out long, but flip your palms up to give your hands a big break. All right, here's where I begin to offer movement in a pose that's usually comprised of stillness. I really love a little massage on bellies. Get your GI tract in shape today, moving smooth through the digestive system. Use your thighs like little rolling pins. Bring knees close to one another and just kind of rock over your belly and your ribs. Give yourself a massage. Super stimulating. One more big breath in, guys. Alrighty, flip palms back down, tuck all your toes, and we're just crouching. So we're gonna lift our knees a little bit, really pushing back with our hands. In this crouch, do you feel the back of your ankles, your calves getting warm? Take another breath in here. And on your exhalation, scoop your hips high to downward facing dog. Take as many movements and as much time as you need to make this feel really delicious. I like to swing hips side to side. Just give yourself lots of love since it's the first time you may have done your down dog today. Possibly looking forward, maybe a little roll forward and back, just experiencing it. Where do I feel sensations? What feels tight? What feels great? Let's press a little stronger through it. Base of our thumb and the index finger. And then swivel your biceps, the front of your upper arm toward the sky. When you're ready, yogis, you're lifting both heels at the same time, dropping your buns back to that crouch, and then inhaling to rise, right back to downward facing dog. Lift your heels, come back to that crouch, buns to heels, knees hovering. Lift your buns high and melt back, heels directionally, energetically towards the earth. Let's try that a few more times. Heels, buns, crouching here. Lifting, releasing back to dog. Twice more. Breathe in as heels rise. Exhale, crouch. Hips lift, inhale. Exhale, melt back to the earth. Last time. Breathe in, heels. Exhale, crouch. Hips on the in-breath. Heels on the out-breath. Super job, guys. Cross your left foot over your right and walk your hands back towards your toes for cross-legged forward fold. Now, this can be very intense in the beginning of our practice, right? So here's a little trick. It's so nice. Try to bend your knees, and you'll notice that little pocket in the back of your left knee. You can fit your right kneecap right in there. It's a yoga trick. Let your head fall if possible. And then let the backs of your hands fall to the earth. Give your wrists a big stretch. Try to open your fingers wide. And if possible, yogis, with the backs of hands down, you're going to make a fist. But try to put your thumb on top of your middle finger. Give it a little squeeze. Flare your fingers back open. Make a fist and squeeze. Flare them back open. Twice more. Let your head hang so there's no wrinkles in the back of your neck. Squeeze. Release. So nice. Walk back out. Downward facing dog, cross-legged. Left foot uncrosses. Right foot crosses. Just take a sec. Feel this in downward facing dog. And when you're ready, walk on back. Cross-legged, forward fold. Try to press your big toes in. If it's super intense, both knees bend. That's nice because you get a little outer hip action. Fitting our left knee in that little pocket behind the right. Take a second to really get upside down here. Let your chin come up towards your chest. Backs of hands into the mat again, webbing spread wide. And here go those little fists, trying to close our thumb over the middle finger. We're going to squeeze as we exhale. Inhale, open. Squeeze. Inhale. Breathe out. And flare open. Cross-legged downward dog. Let's walk all the way back out here. Take a moment, press back, and then uncross your legs. Really nice job. Just think for a sec, yogis. Whatever leg is furthest from me, you're going to pull that knee into your chest and step through into lunge so that when you turn into wide-legged forward fold, you could see me when we rise. Your toes are going to turn out to the corners of your mat, and then you're rising to lift your body all the way up to 5-pointed star. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, come down, squat, scoop up like a gigantic bundle of brownies. That's what I'm feeling today. I want a big bundle of brownies. Rise to the sky. Try that again, scoop up. What feels good for you? Flowers? Sunflowers? Okay, there you go. Exhale, release. Twice more like that. You envision your scoop exactly as you would love to have. Let's switch it up a little bit. Same squat, but fingers trail down the front of body, and then they rise. We're gonna add a little action with our fingers. Imagine like they're paintbrushes. So we flex as we release, and as we rise, we make these little bird's beaks. I'll show you from the side. Flex like stop signs, and then pull middle finger towards inner wrist like a little beak. Inhale, exhale. Let's try 4 more like that, really establishing a strong breath. 3 more, big breath in to rise. Soft knees at the top. You're thinking about pulling your kneecaps high into your thighs. Squeeze your buns. 1 more big paintbrush. Exhale all the way to the floor. Wide-legged forward fold. Turn your toes in, heels out a little bit, and rest. Let your head fall towards the earth, but heel toe together, so much so that your head won't touch the earth, no matter how relaxed you get. If you'd like to add a little shoulder stretch here again, hands clasped on the low back, and then swap your fingers so that the weird grasp is happening. Swivel all around. Take your knuckles and elevate them, lifting behind you or to the sky, whatever feels really wonderful. Now let's draw our shoulder blades together. So we have lots of space between our earlobes and the heads of our shoulders. Our necks love this. 1 more squeeze, shoulder blades towards our spines. Hands come to low back. They float down our legs and we spin around back to that lunge that we were just in. Press back to downward facing dog. And let's get some wide yoga lunges stepping. My friends, inhale left leg, push to 3-legged dog, look forward and try to step outside your pinky finger. If you get stuck, you help yourself forward, grab your ankle. Kneeling lunge, always an option, and no matter which option you choose for lunge, you pull your heart through. Press back, downward facing dog. Right leg rises, breathe in. Look forward, step outside, or help your foot outside. Right pinky finger, pull sides long and chest through. Let's try twice more on each side with your breath, yogis, as fast or as slow as you want to go. Inhale, 3-legged. Exhale, wide lunge. Inhale back. Exhale, release deeper. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, wide lunge. Really feel that exhalation as you expand. Press back. Sink down. 1 more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Can't wait for this last one. This is a great hip opener. Feels good, doesn't it? Press on back. All right, let's get a little bit more going. Left leg rises. Take a big breath and lunge forward, yogis. We're gonna stay low in this lunge, dropping your right knee to hover amongst the floor. Not amongst, above the floor. And when you rise, your knees stay in this beautiful bent lunge. Arms overhead if possible. If you get tired, just place them on your front thigh. And start to climb up your rib ladder. Climb up a little higher, a little higher. Keep your right knee bent and then straighten the right leg. Reach forward with fingertips. Fall to the earth and then try to elevate your right foot. Just gonna lift it a little bit or a lot if that feels good. Taking a breath in here, lengthening side bodies. Exhaling, stepping back to lunge again. Now you get to choose every time we come here. Arms rise. Do you like that bent knee, more hip flexor stretch? Or do you like the straight leg? You choose. Palms come to prayer. Thumbs fall to nape of neck. And we lift from the back ribs. Lift from the points of our elbows. Press head back into arms and then spread open wide in a V. Eye gaze up for a little balance challenge. Float fingertips down around your front foot. And press back to downward facing dog. Now take a moment to settle here. Drop to your knees, child's pose, but drop to forearms as well for striking cobra. Watch me if you don't know this one. Nose and chin skim the mat as we scoop up into a baby cobra. Belly falls, toes connected, anchoring lower half, and we squeeze our upper half like we're being magnified to the sky. Come on back into child's. Take a sec here, a little swish with your tail if that feels good, and then rise through your buns to downward facing dog. Big step forward with your right leg. I like to lift first. That feels good to me. You do what feels good to you. Back leg floats to the sky. We step forward. Take a deep fold. A halfway lift. Breathe in. Top of head long through tail. Knees as soft as you'd like to find your way back to the sky. Extended mountain pose. Welcome back. It's been a while since we were here. Lift up long. Exhale. Let's try that on the other side. Float to forward fold. Your right leg takes a really long lunge back. And then we're going to rise. Inhale to the sky, yogis. Sinking down through your right hip flexor with a bent knee to begin. If arms are tired, they rest on front thigh. Press your right leg back. Stay long. Send fingertips forward. And then reach to the floor as you elevate your right toes to the sky. Lengthen out your side bodies. Take a breath in here, and when you're ready to exhale, see how softly you can land back into lunge. Arms rise, palms meet overhead, thumbs fall to nape of neck. Lift from elbow points. Open arms into a V behind you for a tiny baby back bend. Exhale, frame out your front foot. Press back to downward facing dog. Take a breath, stay longer if you'd like. We're gonna speed up after this round. Drop to knees. Drop to forearms, and then scoot on through, striking cobra, chin and chest skim. We find that baby cobra again, or if we feel more magnetized to the sky, we can press on up really long. Straight arms, knees, and thighs rise. Down dog again. Lifting our left legs, big breath in. Exhale, lunge forward. See if you can float your back leg to step into forward fold. We're not rushing here, we're taking as much time as we enjoy. Halfway lift, inhale. Release to the floor. Find a way to find the sky, yogis. Inhale big. All right, so let's just go a little faster, but do it as you please. So whatever feels good with your breath, just melting the two together. Right leg takes a long lunge back again. Inhale, arms rise. Taking this lunge with a bent knee to begin. Right knee bends, and then we straighten. Now something different this time. Wrap your left arm around your belly, right arm around your low back. Give yourself a little hug, then hinge forward and boost up through your back leg. So you know what you can do. If this is too wobbly, take fingertips to floor. Try to bend your left knee and then straighten it. These are optional add-ons, guys. Bend and straighten. One more, little bend, little straighten. Land back in that lunge. Arms rise high, palms meet. Thumbs to nape of neck, and we boost from the elbow points. Exhale, frame out the front foot. Press back to downward facing dog. Lower to child. Forearms fall to scoop us through into striking cobra. Make it an up dog if that feels great for you today. Press on, back down dog. Right leg rises, inhale. Exhale, come forward for lunge. And see if you can float the back leg up as you release to fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, find the sky, however it feels great. Come right back to the earth when you're ready. Forward fold. Left leg takes the long lunge back. Arms rise, but remembering that we're gonna start with the bent left knee. Then push your left leg back. Try a hug this time, this is an option. Right arm around the belly, left arm around low back. Shift your weight forward. Get light on your left toes and try to float them behind you. Bend right knee, straighten right leg. Stop, huh? Bend and straighten. One more strong breath here. Tap your left toes back. Touch the floor, arms rise. Prayer, thumbs to nape of neck, boost up into a tiny back bend. Big V behind you with your arms. Frame out the front foot, press back to downward facing dog. Child, take a break here. The best. Forearms down, scoop on through to your baby or your up dog. Press back down dog. Left leg, breathe in. We're gonna step it forward. Lifting through right leg if possible. Make it a super soft landing. A halfway lift, take a big, beautiful breath in. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms rise high. Let's do something more fun. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg steps back, finding a lunge, but then immediately swiveling into warrior two. So however you like to do that, big expressive arms encouraged. Send the left knee down, checking to make sure we're wide enough. Wrists over ankles or somewhere near there, feeling like you could really bend your left knee. Okay, let's take some arm circles. So easy arm circles is just going to be one arm and then the other. If you're looking for a little coordination challenge today, I've got one for you. Right arm comes down and you take your hands like a big open crocodile mouth. So you're going to flex your wrists, fingers to the sky and the floor. From here, right arm up, left arm down, wrists connect. Left arm up, right arm down, wrists connect. So if you're like, oh, I didn't come to yoga to think and coordinate myself, then don't worry about it. Just go like this and go like this. It's all the same. But if you want to move a little bit fun, freeing, a bit different, join me. Going for that wrist stretch no matter what. We're really flexing fingers, opening our stop sign hands. One more breath each way, yogis. And then we just get to chill. Send the arms back out, make fists, and circle your wrists. Now, which way are you going? Can you stop? Start one hand only. And can you make the other one go the other way? Got a real brain buster for you. I don't even know if I'm doing it. Are you? It's hard, isn't it? I think I am, but then automatically the wrists switch without me asking them to, so it's all just fun and games. One more big breath-filled wrist circles in any direction. Triangle pose. Lift your left knee high. Reach with your left fingertips. Reach some more. Getting that great hip tilt. Left finger softly find shin or float, or use a yoga prop. Inhale, arms rise. Then let's drop the right arms. Can you take and wiggle your fingers to find your left thigh? Big chest opening. Eye gaze up past your right shoulder. And just slowing your breath down for a moment, loving on our bodies. Let's unwind anything we've done with our binds. Coming into reverse triangle, just swivel your arms like a windmill. Keep the legs soft, knees. Lift up through left side and right side. Really big lift. If possible, back arm meets overhead and we tip to the right. Oh, feels so good. Okay, traditional vinyasa this time. Rotate right heel up as you spin all the way down to the floor. Push back to down dog. Coming forward, if you'd like, back through striking cobra, but if you want to join me for a bit of a challenge, roll to plank or kneeling plank. Drop chest in between the arms, find elbows, then scoop up to your back bend. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises, looking forward, finding your mark. Try to land your heel right between your thumbs. Feather light through the left leg. Release, forward fold comes halfway lift. Think of a long line, top of head to tail. Shoulders to hip bones. Bend your knees a little or a lot, find the sky. Well done, guys. Just one more round. You ready? Lift up, find some energy. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg steps back. Now you take as much time as you want. You're gonna find your warrior two somewhere along this path. All good? All good. Taking a couple more big breaths in here, just getting really soft and comfy. So remember those arms that we did before. We can just simply do some arm circles. That feels so nice. Just free up your shoulders. Go different ways if you're gonna stick with that. But if you'd like, bring your open crocodile now, fingers flex up and down towards your right knee. And then don't think too much. Just start to circle around. Right arm up, left arm down, left arm up, right arm down. Stay with the breath. Wrists get tired quick here with this flex, don't they? Keep on breathing. Sink into the power of your right knee, but pull your knee out towards your baby toe. We're gonna go for 3. 2 more big breaths. I like to move my eye gaze too. That feels good, doesn't it? And 1. Then let your arms be so soft and free, just floaty for a second. Make your fists. Try to go the other way. Whatever way is like normal for you, switch it. Cool, got them both going the same way, right? All right, let's stop. Start one, start the other. I laugh every time because it's so weird. It's so hard. How is something that seems so simple in your brain? I can't do it. Oh, well, we tried. One more breath, whatever you're doing, yogis, getting your wrists free. Nice, fingertips long. Pull your right knee high into your thigh. Reach with the right hand. Squeeze inner thighs together. Notice that tipping that's happening. Reach, reach. Soft, floaty landing. Left arm skywards, but we're optionally wrapping that today around. Wiggling fingers for the right inner thigh. Noticing what's happening, that big opening. It's so nice. Then I gaze up past your left shoulder. And we would be softening the right knee as much as necessary if it feels much too intense on your right hamstring. Just really breathing softly through that leg. Unwind any half binds that you had and just swivel the upper body. Lower half stays right where it is. Right arm rises, but do you feel a bit congested in your left side? I've got a fix for you. Breathe in, lift, lift, lift. Feels good. Now we tip back a little bit. And alternatively, if lifting overhead is just a bit too challenging, I used to love to do this. I'd put my hands on my rib and then use my fingers to literally go and try to boost you up a little bit. So you know you're keeping that long line with less intensity. One more big breath. Spin your left heel up as you windmill arms down through your lunge. Let's pass through one more vinyasa. This is completely optional, my friends. Take a break in child's or down dog if you'd like. We'll meet you in a moment. Inhale, my friends, coming forward. You're welcome to use striking cobra option. Otherwise, we're exhaling chaturanga. Inhaling, scoop to back bend. Exhaling, pressing back to dog. And let's everybody meet in down dog, okay? Take a second to get there. Next inhalation rises your left leg. Three-legged dog, look at your target right between your thumbs. Give yourself a big old crunch. Step through. Light on your right leg. Fingertips may move forward. We float it up. Land it down, and then halfway lift. Give me a big breath in. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms rise high. Good job on the strength portion of your practice. Ready for some balances? Clasp your forearms or your elbows or even your wrists or palms overhead. And as we do this, let's make sure we don't look like this. Can you see me? See how I'm stressed out in my shoulders? Try to let them melt down. Give a little space between earlobes and shoulders. Sink your buns. Lift your left toes, and option, just cross them over. This is a beautiful eagle pose. Otherwise, we cross the thighs, poke out to the side, or you may want to double wrap with your little toes wrapped around your right calf, and then just settle your buns. Try to sink, squeeze inner thighs, belly tight. Breathing and sending your upper body in the opposite directions. Try to climb that rib ladder again. So nice. One more big breath in. Wiggle your right toes. Soften your facial muscles. Keep your arms and elevate through the lower half as you extend your left leg out. Open your yogi toes there. Then spread your arms, finding star pose. We've got a straight line up and down and a straight line on the diagonal. Cool. If possible, falling star, tip to the right, right, right. Feel your right outer hip. Stay there. Breathe. Left heel to butt. This is all options. We could just stay with star. Left hand to hold the top of your foot. We've got a falling star with a quad stretch now. Taking a big breath in. Notice where you started to grip. My toes always do. So they're, then we want to go wiggle, let them free. One more big breath in. Rise to sky with arms and your left knee. It's okay if you fall. Darn. If you do, just come with me. Rise again. There's plenty of time. Hug your left shin. And then roll yourself into a little ball. And if you can't hug your shin, that's okay. Like bear hug your, what'd you pick earlier? Sunflowers, brownies, scoop them up, whatever it is. Rounding and releasing, yogis. Just take some really beautiful breaths to open up your spinal vertebrae, your ribs, open up from your hip bones. One more time. Okay, one more stretch. I love this one. We're gonna keep this left knee with us. If you need the earth, you cross at your ankle for figure four. If you can, you pull up high, flex foot strong, cross over thigh, ankle bone over the thigh, and then do anything that feels good with your buns. Oh, so good. We're going for the left glute, left outer thigh stretch, right? Then your arms. Overhead is tough. I don't think it's super fun. So I like to reach forward. And then if you want to fold with me, we can fold. We would come all the way belly over left shin and bring our bodies down to enhance the lower body stretch. Now, just two things as you're sitting or you're lifted or you're extending here. You want to flex your left foot for safety in the joints, and then use your knee, the left knee, to try to push down. Open here on the inner hip and pelvis. Squeeze through the outer side. Let's try one more huge breath in, yogis. On your exhalation, power up through your right heel. Rise all the way to the sky. One more quick knee lift. Don't worry, you're done. And then you get to do the happiest dance of class. Let it go. Oh, that poor right leg. Mine won't even move. We want to try to shake it, roll over the toes, shimmy yourself out, swim backwards, whatever you need to do to feel perfect again. So you feel ready to tackle this next side. Y'all ready? Arms rise. Holding our elbows. And if you always go one hand on top, try to do it the odd way. What feels a little different. Sink in your buns. Right toes, little eagle, bigger eagle, or level 3 eagle. Double wrap, doesn't matter what you do. It's all about what feels really good and necessary in your body. Bun sink. We climb up through ribs, front and back ribs. Climb up through your collarbones and the points of your elbows. And then unclench your left toes. Stop gripping so tight on your arms. Soften your face. What can you let go of? Rise through the legs. Elevate through the right knee. Send it out, star pose. Keep your arms as long as you can. Find that falling star. Feel your left outer hip kick in. And then find your length. Right fingers to left heel long. Left fingers to right bottom of foot long. Cool? Cool. Okay, right heel pulls in towards butt. Right hand reaches around. Give it a little squeeze. We've got a falling star with a quad stretch. Don't worry, that break is coming. That big back stretch out. I know it's tough. It really kicks the core up a notch when we're balancing. Let's rise back to sky, but bring your right knee with you. As high as you can lift it. See if you can grab your shin and hug your nose towards your knee. Round your back as big and as broad as you can. Now fill up all that new space with really motivated, inspired, invigorated in-breath. Next time you're ready to inhale, rise. Take this foot with you, and options, guys. Figure 4, small, less intense version. Bigger, more intense version. Up high, over the thigh, and then you do what makes you happy with a flexed right foot and a right knee pushing down. So find something that feels really good in your right glute. If you're not feeling it, try to sit a little deeper back. Even if you want to go to your wall or your couch and hold on there, really push back, so good. If you'd like to fold, take a load off. And keep on thinking about your flexed right foot. That just keeps everything safe as our hips begin to allow us in and we deepen into our posture a little bit. Breath is really flowing, especially where we're feeling sensation. Breath is targeting those areas. When you're ready, my friends, next inhalation brings us fully inspired to the sky. One more big breath in. That was not an easy one, was it? Exhale, release. Ah, the best. Shake out, poor left leg, let it be free. Give it a little kick if it wants to move. All right, y'all good? Let's move on. Breath comes in, extended mountain pose. Try to sink down into any version of yogi squat. So I'm just gonna show you a couple versions. You know the typical one that we normally do, but you could also bring your feet together and your knees wide. You could do a high version of the wide one or a low version of the wide one. Wherever you are, I just want you to turn on your pelvic floor a little bit. If you have the ability to press hands into knees or elbows into knees, do that. Elbows, you can intensify those by tenting fingertips or interlacing knuckles. Really press out. If you're a little off balance today, you can take your eyes to the floor. That always helps me get my composure, find my core, find my breath. And then when you're ready, yogis, oh, that was close. We're gonna close this down to a squat. Option, can you reach your fingers forward or maybe one hand in front, one hand in back, and just try to find the floor really softly, maybe without hands? Ah, nice. Bound angle once you arise. Soles of feet are together. Use your thumbs, like press right into the middle of your foot first. Just give it like a really strong, loving massage down through there. Lift your chest. Exhale, float forward. If you want to do it a bit like Ray Charles, like how he's just so smoothly dancing at his piano, go for it. Or you could just rise and release flat back, whatever feels good. And then move on to the ball of your foot, your toes. Give yourself a little love. Whenever you get to your next exhalation, yogis, if it feels good, it's time to rest for a moment. Come on down and just surrender to your stretch. Bringing hands wherever they're comfy. Allowing yourself a moment to drop your chin to your chest. Signaling to the nervous system that it's time to just let go a little bit. Staying here is great. If you need some more intensity, follow me. Make your legs more like a diamond, a little bit further away from your groin, and then take your forearms like a forklift, slide them underneath your shins. Now, from here, we're gonna do a little PNF stretching. We're gonna lift our forklift as we press down with our shins. So we have like a little fight going on, a lift and a push at the same time, and then we fully release. We're gonna inhale, squeeze forearms up as we press down through the outer edges of our legs. Exhale, release. Try that twice more. Squeeze up, release fully. One more time, big squeeze, big press down throughout our legs, and release. A really fast way to get us into a melty position. Squeezing, engaging, allows us to just let go that much more quickly. 2 more breaths in here, and if you're feeling ultra flexible today, you might notice this beautiful little hole that your inner arches make, and it's perfect for your third eye. You could just melt it right on down in there. See, our body does these cool little yoga tricks. One final breath in here. Just enjoy for a sec. When you're at the bottom of that exhalation, let's rise. We're gonna spin both knees to the left side, so our heels are facing the right. We have about a 90-degree bend in our knees for some spinal lifts. Take the left hand behind you. I like to hug my right hip because it tends to pop a little bit when you rise. See if you can lift a little bit and your hip feels okay. If it does, then you rise through your arm. But then lower your arm down some way. Let your hips fall and try that again. Maybe we lift a different way. So if you know this feels great, but you're like, I want a little more, right toes extend, the ball of foot or the little ball mound of your big toe. Press down to help you rise in a bit more expressive way. And we do it again, but this time we're really happy and we stay at the tippy top. Moving the top arm, the eyes, your left foot in any way to make this feel really open and beautiful. Exhale, release to the floor. Allow your left forearm to fall and then try that big quad stretch again. Now, if you're on the bony part of your hip, you may want to kind of rock back a little bit so you're on the meat, or just get something soft under your left hip. Sometimes that can be uncomfy. Keep a really big lift in your left ribs as you squeeze right heel to butt. And it might help if you pull back a little bit. It feels different, right? Taking one more big breath in here. Good quad stretching day. It's much easier down here than it is in Star, right? So now we can really focus on it for a sec. When you're ready, let that go. Use your right hand to boost you up and then sit back. Might need a little massage of that left hip if it felt kind of hard down there. We're gonna let our hips go, a little windshield wipe, or maybe you prefer like a jiggle, whatever feels right for you. You could always lean back into your forearms too if you're tired of using your wrists. Now on your knees are to the right. Let's keep them there. Heels left, about 90 degrees in our knees. We're gonna use the right hand this time. Spiral up. Remember, your left hip might need a little love to rise. See if it feels okay, then open your arm. Let's try that about 3 more times. If you need more, you take it. If you felt great and don't want to move, stay. Try to move your hands in new ways each time. And remember our extended option of the left big toe or the ball of your foot. Press that down to rise. And whenever you feel really good, yogis, it's time to stay. Now, I like to swivel my right foot more behind my knee to give me a bigger back bending option. So you might want to try that. We could move around through our left arms, use our eyes and our necks in different ways to experience this in a new way today. Allow your hips to fall. Lean off under your right forearm, but really lift your right ribs. And then just make sure you try to get on the meaty portion of your right cheek as opposed to that hip bone, or bring something soft under. When you're cozy, it's hard to get cozy there, isn't it? Heel to butt, left heel to butt. This is a great little stretch if you can grab a hold of your foot. If you need to use something like your sweatshirt or a dog leash or a yoga strap, you could use anything to pull back. Then you may want to consider actually pulling your whole leg behind you a bit, opening into a baby back bend. Soften your jaw, try to relax a tad. And when you're ready, let's ease out. We're gonna roll to our bellies, yogis. So I wanna show you this real quick. If you're not familiar with half frog, flipping your half frog, just check me out. I'm gonna go on fast forward, but we'll take it really slow once we get here together, just so you know what you're doing. Half frog, I'm in. I thread my needle, and then eventually we're gonna flip, okay? So the top arm in my needle opens up behind me, and my knee comes closer to my belly as I flip my frog. Okay, let's do it together. You're on your bellies. Try a sphinx before we begin. Big toes closed, forearms down. And then I'm isometrically pulling like this, my elbows back towards my hips, energetically. They're not really moving, but I'm pulling back, and I feel a lift in my chest. It comes through that window of the upper arm. You might notice a little bit of the skin moving forward on your elbows. That's good, really getting that contraction in there. Okay, let's rest. Make a little hands pillow, one on top of the other, and rest your forehead for a sec. Jiggle your buns like a bowl full of Jell-O. Just let your low back be free. Taking hands down like you're gonna do a baby cobra, and then pull your left knee as high as you want it, up towards your left ear. Heel behind your knee, and your frog toes are turned out to the side. Now I could do nothing and just totally chill in this great hip stretch. Or I can come back up a little bit, see if my body likes that. Now we might wanna feel that little rotation. Feel your left front of hip turning towards the floor. You can intensify it a bit by lifting the outer left foot and then slowly lowering without a thump. That's the hard part. And then when you're ready to add on, if you are, left arm out stretches, right arm comes under, we're threading the needle. A good time to pull something soft under your head, especially if you want to stay. But my optional add-on for you is to try to get your right shoulder into your right lymph node. See if you can give yourself a little lymph massage there. Stay if you want. If that's what feels really good, please do. If you'd like to roll over with me, left arm rises. And as we start to let the left arm fall behind us, it probably won't touch the floor. We're gonna draw our left knee in, so we have this huge spinal twist. And as soon as you feel like you're pretty comfy, we're gonna roll our chests towards the sky. Take eyes over the left fingers. There's no prize if they touch the floor. I feel best when mine are hovering a little bit because you get this great stretch in your pectoral muscles, the chest, like near the armpit. And if you need a bit more, you can always straighten your left leg and you can use your right hand to rest on top. So now that we've arrived, we just have to try to breathe and thread and weave that breath all the way down to our tight, twisted up areas. Trying to take one more deep, slow breath in here. And then we're gonna rewind. If you're here with me in our flipped frog, we're gonna rewind, coming back to our thread the needle frog. Unthread your needle. And so I think the easiest way to get out of here is just to take the knees together. Sweep your left leg behind you. Redo your little hands pillow and then shimmy your hips side to side. Let yourself go. Before we move on, let's take our toes as wide as our mats and then turn them out so the inner arches are on the ground. Just releasing here through the low back. And when you feel ready, my friends, let's come back into half frog, but this time the right leg comes up. So I don't know, you might want to lift, you may want to push your forearms down, whatever's easiest to pull your right knee up to your side. And then take as big of a lift as you want. Just make sure your frog toes are turned out and your heel is behind your knee. While you're here, notice that right hip pushing down, rolling open, and then we might want to lift our right heel, softly release it to the earth. Squeeze through the outer hip. If yours is not lifting, but you're trying, it's okay. We always like to have something to work towards, right? Inhale and exhale. Now, where do we want to go from here, yogis? I'll walk you through. You can just totally rest in your half frog. If it's possible to rest in half frog, it's pretty intense. We can outstretch our arms. And then if you wanted to thread your needle, left arm would come under the right. You choose whether your palm is up or down here. And then you could probably see it better on this side. You're gonna maybe, if you don't want a little pillow with something soft, use your left shoulder, that meaty portion, and just rest the left side of your throat. Try to get up into your lymph node there and give it a little love, like a hug. Staying here as long as it feels good. But if you're ready to tip over, your right arm is rising to the sky. It starts to fall behind us, and you'll notice your right knee comes closer to your chest as you roll over. And then just get as cozy as you can with your back on the floor. Eye gaze eventually would look over the right fingertips. If you need more, your two options would be left hand resting on the outside of right thigh or straightening your right leg. Just make sure your knee is soft and happy if you do that. So I think the hardest part here is just getting our breath into those really deeply twisted areas. I like to think about it down in the low spine, like being really twisted and kind of loving, opening breaths heading down there. Might be a little dark if it feels twisty, so we could bring some lightness, maybe some warm golden light down into that area as we breathe. Opening shoulder, feel breath coming in there as well, especially if we have a bit of crankiness in our shoulders. You could use your breath. Exhalation would leave a little bit darker than it came in, might even feel like a little puff of black smoke leaving, and we continue breathing into that area of tightness until both the in and out breath is the same calming color. When you're ready, my friends, you're of course always welcome to stay if it feels so good. We're just going to rewind, so wherever you are, begin to opt on out of everything. So we're coming out of our flip frog, into thread the needle frog, into regular half frog, and then back to knees side by side, head resting on back of hands, and just a little jiggle for your buttons, a little softening into your low back. Let's get our hands somewhere around our shoulders so we can press back into child's pose. And after that big stretch there, you may want a wider knee since we haven't done a wide-legged child's pose yet. But we're gonna stretch our hands over to the left side, possibly right hand on top of left, hips pulling away from fingertips. Drop nose, heaviness in the upper body. One more breath through your right side. Exhale, come on back to the right side, hips to the left. Left hand may want to rest on top of the right as we soften down through our upper bodies. Taking another big breath through the left side. Really drag it through the left side of your body, combing any tension away. Exhale, come back forward. Bring knees back together and then come to kneeling. So we're making our way towards the end of our class. If you can comfortably sit in kneeling to finish up with us, let's do that. Otherwise, we can sit in any cross-legged position that works for you. I want us to be able to move a little bit for our bodies, like a circular motion, and to lean side to side. So find a comfy spot for that. And if you prefer a traditional Shavasana, like a corpse pose or a legs up the wall, you're welcome to head there for our last few minutes together. When you've arrived, if you're moving with me, left fingers down, right arm rises. Reach a bit towards the left front corner and shimmy around like you're dusting off a shelf. Rise to the sky. Right hand down, left arm super soft. Reach over to that right diagonal, sweep around a little bit. Rise up, lean behind you and try to open like you're inflating a balloon in between your collarbones, up in your belly. Really feel deep breaths coming in. Come back forward. And then a little bit of body circles, like a little tiny cat-cow. So wherever you feel comfy with your fingers. If you're going all in one direction, that's great. Just remember to swap in a second. If you're going one each way, that can be really nice. You don't have to worry about doing a ton on one side and then forgetting the other. Move a little bit through your necks here. Come back to the center. Try to sit back up tall. Sometimes at the end you're like, oh, I'm like a melted goo. That feels so good. Left arm rises. 2 fingers to right temple, or you can cradle your ear and actually hug yourself into your left arm, whatever feels really good. To tip neck, but try to stay up tall in your body. And then reach your right fingers out. Maybe playing with that height, the length, wherever you're reaching to see if you're getting the best combing, releasing sensation in the right side of neck. Right back into the center. Ah, that's nice. Right arm rises. Peace fingers, like your little antenna, or you can actually hug in, really hug in tight. Feel really nurtured with this nice hug. Lean your head, try to keep your long torso, but lean your neck over to the right side. And then your left arm comes out. Maybe even a little finger wiggle or a reach in a new direction would feel really good. Definitely moving through your chin and your eye gaze changes how this feels. So a little experimenting is always nice. And then let's neutralize everything. Come on up. If you're feeling like you need some more good vibes, you need some more energy, palms would be up. And if you're feeling a little overstimulated, you need to release some energy, palms would be down for grounding. Let's breathe, my friends. If you need to switch your stance, if you got a little bit tired or they fell asleep down there, move your legs around, get cozy. Find a really uplifted, confident spine, feeling like proud peacocks in our chest. Really good work today. You should be proud of yourselves and grateful, most importantly, grateful for the time together, but our beautiful bodies and how they breathe and work and make all these funky shapes. Well done, my friends. Tuck your chin to your chest. Eye gaze right down the tip of your nose, a soft, desensitizing, slightly closed or fully closed eye gaze. Breathing in consistently, breathing out slowly. Bringing in everything that we want, everything we need, everything we're wishing for in life on every inhalation. And breathing out those things that aren't serving us on exhalations. Breathing in, thinking, I breathe or I inhale everything that supports me, and then really hold that in. Try to hold tight for a good 2 seconds. Exhale, I'm releasing, I'm letting go of anything that is not serving me, blocking me, or preventing me from reaching my goals. Breathing in love and light. Exhaling if you're ready to release any anger or pain. Breathing in harmony and balance. Breathing out, releasing frustrations, releasing hatred that we're ready to let go of, or if we're not ready, we're creating space for it. We're being open to it. Breathing in, strength and courage. Breathing out negative energy, blockages. Breathing in, feeling protected and loved. Breathing out, feeling nurtured from our practice. Hands come to heart center. If you're on your backs, begin that slow rock and roll. Make your way up to join us. From your child's pose or your fetal position, you'd press up to seated. Wherever you were, join us. A little bow with gratitude to your beautiful practices today. Yogis, the light in me honors, acknowledges, is so humbled by, inspired by, and grateful for the light that is each and every one of you. Happy Friday, namaste, and I can't wait to see you next week. Enjoy a nice, cool, crisp weekend. Take good care, yogis.